Hello, hello, hello. Good evening. I love. It's really funny to me how you can tell which program I'm using to stream with by my starting my starting screen, because I don't have anything universal made yet. So it's just like, oh yes, here's one of the OBS packages when I'm using OBS, and then when I'm using Twitch Studio, it's like, hello, here it is. Here's the Twitch Studio one. I guess it's just something to do at some point. But, welcome! So, last time in Trails in the Sky, we were doing a whole bunch of side quests. We're here in Zeiss, more or less at the request of Kilika, to try and investigate why there have been earthquakes going on in the area. It seems like it's been rather odd, to say the least. So, we're on our way to Wolford? Fort Wolf? There's like, it's like wolf and then another word.
Take that.
But yeah, we're heading off to the fort. It's the border between Liberal, which is where we are, and the Republic of Caverns. Can we slash the sheep? Slash the sheep. Good.
Nicely done.
Alright. Is it? Oh, it's just Wolf Fort. Why did I think it had like, it was like Wolf something Fort? 450. 245. Alright. Uh-oh. Surprise. Oh, could we resist the poison? So yeah. Oh yeah, I've missed these grasshoppers. They're like, I play dead. I'm not here. I ambush you, but don't look at me. But yeah, I've had a pretty good, what, 2 days, day and a half, however, how does time work? Since the last stream. I've been talking about this on Twitter, but I've discovered some really cool stuff involving Mega Man Battle Network past weekend. Mostly just because, on a whim, I was just sort of like, I wonder if anyone's done a long-form review on the Mega Man Battle Network series. And I found videos by the RPG Monger, who, in his videos, mentioned both the Mega Man, the N1 Grand Prix, which is like a community-ran Battle Network 6 tournaments series, which is really cool. I've been watching some videos of that. And then also mentioned Mega Man Chrono Cross, which is like a fan game. So, and all of this has been on top of me playing like some other like Mega Man Battle Network games, because I have the cartridges for 5 and 6 hanging about, as well as playing some like Star Force 3 off on the side. So it's been a real mega weekend for, I guess, past couple of days, however you want to phrase it. I have, it's like a weird sort of, it's like nostalgia, but also like discovering something new at the same time kind of deal. Because like, Battle Network games were like very much like my childhood. Like, I'd say, I wouldn't say it's like what I was doing in like, like elementary school or anything like that. But I want to say, like, considering when they came out, I would have been in like middle school age. So when going in like replaying the games again, it was sort of refreshing to see like both the yeah, the gameplay's still really good, and then on top of that also like getting my butt kicked in some stuff. like the Chrono Cross demo, they've only got like maybe like 5 or 6 hours worth of gameplay in there. But man, was it really good and really good at kicking my butt. And it's just been like a nice fun little trip because I've got like the hardware lined about to go and use it. So it's nice being able to go and play some of these older games I haven't touched in a while on like original hardware. Like my hands are obviously like larger than they were when I was like, you know, like 11 or 12 or 13-ish when I was playing on my Game Boy Advance SP back in the day. And my brother goes and refurbishes consoles and stuff like that. I've been able to play on like a refurbished Game Boy Advance SP that he made. I should post it sometime because it looks really nice. It's got like a golden Majora's Mask skin on it. Or I guess the term is shell when it comes to those things. But yeah, it's my trying to play Battle Network 5 with now is like my hands are like wrapping like completely around the thing. So it's been an experience. I'll say that. Can we take out the sheep before? Just barely. But okay. But yeah, I think I'm probably beat down too. Is that the AOE one or the? No, that's a single target one, I think. But yeah, I think I'll probably end up playing, just be doing more of the Battle Network stuff on the side. Just like for funsies here and there. I'm looking forward to sort of like finishing 5 and moving on to 6 again though. My brother's been collecting like all of the actual cartridges. So at some point, like if I ever decide that I want to stream the games, I'll have them available. But I don't plan on like streaming. Wait, here we go. Oh, that's it. But yeah, I don't plan on like going outside. How many snakes are gonna show up? It's like I started talking about, and the snakes are like, do come and join us in the battle? Why are all these snakes on this freaking plane? I don't remember the line. I also don't say like the big words in that one, so oh my goodness. A never-ending supply of snakes. Do I have any? I don't have any AoE spells with her yet. This is gonna be tricky. Alright, line? Eat the line. This might be the longest we've heard this particular track in like genuine gameplay so far. Because they just keep coming. So, in other RPG news, I have been like super debating whether or not I'm going to finish the last bit of Octopath Traveler. I feel like I have a... This is one of those things where it's kind of tied into how I genuinely tend to like hop from game to game sometimes. So like I've got like 38, 40-ish hours into Octopath Traveler at this point. But because all I have left is taking on the like secret boss, and it's like, yeah, you have to use everybody. And I have like I have to do like an annoying amount of grinding to be able to use everybody. I feel like my like me playing other stuff is probably going to end up just kind of consuming my interest in actually completing the finale.
Together now. Okay.
There we go. Okay, and... yeah, we'll send him to the Shadow Realm. Yeah, I've mentioned a couple times that like I tend to get like 90% through a game, and then I'll just like stop for various like reasons. This is one of those reasons why with some games where it's like yeah, I'm having fun, and it's like, now go grind for like a huge chunk of time.
Well, that takes care of that.
And unless it's something that like I genuinely like can enjoy or do very quickly, it becomes like let's not. This is one of the side quests we need. I think these guys deal poison damage. Also, I'm not sure how I would feel living in a world with something like this just right down the road. A play monster that smells anything that moves, absorbs channels corruption in the earth. Can I taunt?
Hey, come and get me.
The plants are immune to getting angry. Okay. They're just not quite in range of being multi-hitted yet. Uh-oh. They put him to sleep. Crap. Alright, he'll wake up as soon as he gets hit again. But let's back up. Trying to debate whether or not see how well this will do. Alright, good. That took him out. I was hoping that happened. Okay. Unfortunately, this is not a game where when a character is asleep that they regain like HP and EP or anything like that. Don't look at Olivier. He doesn't deserve to be eaten. would be a good time to wake up, princess. Alright. Here, yeah, okay. And Estelle's been blinded. That's the wrong character. I meant to do Estelle.
Light of the heavens.
What is this?
These brown
What?
wings.
There was a weird texture over her face for a second there. Well, Agate's been healed, I guess. Okay. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna use one of these.
We're good to go.
Because I feel like he's definitely going to be able to finish off that guy as Craft. Especially with a little extra damage here and there. He's going in for good measure. Alright.
Here I
Oh, just barely didn't finish him off. And he healed. Alright, great. At least Estelle's no longer blinded. I could have sworn these guys were poison dudes, but it turns out they weren't. Learn something new every day. Okay. Okay. It's just a matter of time with this last one now, then. Watching him walk around Estelle is just kind of funny. I can imagine her being like, "What? Am I not worth eating?" And then the creature would look over at her and she'd be like, actually, never mind. You can go back to attacking Agate."
Take that.
Yeah. Shh. Rex.
Nicely
No
done.
barking. It's too late at night to be barking. Chain 2. Okay. There we go. If you're gonna be barking, I'm gonna put you in my brother's room. You're gonna have to go to bed. Yeah, I'm looking at you. You looking back at me? Hmm? You think I won't do it? Call my bluff. I dare you. Let's top the spell off. Nope. Alright. But what if? Yeah. Man, having the gladiator headband really gave Estelle a massive chunk of craft points back in that last encounter. Easy peasy.
Well, that takes care of that.
No, wrong button. My muscle memory is even more messed up than it like is normally, because with me playing Mega Man, like the menu is start in that one, but again it's a Nintendo property, so the A button is where the circle button is. Irene, how's it going? We're just trying to make our way over to Wolfport while being ambushed by all the woodland critters. Well, they said no to that art. So I have to take care of them before. Unless... Yeah, no, we're good. Which leaves... These guys are all weak to Earth, interestingly enough. Okay. I'll target that one. I'm doing pretty good. I ended up like getting kind of tired from I like eating bread makes me like get really tired, but I still go and do it anyways. Like I had pizza for dinner. So I went and laid down to take a nap at like 7 o'clock. And woke up 2 hours later, and I'm like, I'm still kind of tired, but I should definitely make sure I'm awake because I'll have to stream before too long. So it's that whole like, yes, I sleep, but I still am not sleep, or I still am sleep. Yeah. So outside of that though, doing pretty good. Just normal sort of stuff. My mom had a like a surgery today to take care of something. Her like sinuses were messed up from when she got COVID, so they had to go and fix it. But that all went well. Yeah, I feel like unless you like properly go to sleep at your normal schedule, your body will sometimes just be like, no, I'm just basically in like powered off. But as soon as you wake up, we're just gonna give you all that fatigue right back. It's like, oh, you left this in your bed. Here, let me hand you your fatigue again. Yo, that sheep just dodged that like a champ. Okay. So yeah. I'm thinking we should be able to get a good once we fight our way through the wasteland. We should be able to make some good progress in this game today, since we've already taken care of pretty much all the other side quests in the area. The only side quest we still have is one that's like, hey, go beat up random encounters with the gun, which I am currently doing, so it kind of worked out.
Well, that takes care of that.
I feel like you have, but let's see here. You already looted this chest. You might have forgotten, but don't think you can just come waltzing back and apologize. But what if I get on my knees and beg your forgiveness, treasure chest? I think I think a really easy one would be Emma and Hatterina because of the whole like witch motif there. Because I don't think like a Miss Magius would work because that's much more of a like a sinister kind of witch thing. And here's the wolf fort. It's really peaceful here. I guess we don't need to worry about Calvert invading us and stealing our puppies or something, huh? Quite a difference compared to Haken Gate. Of course, unlike my glorious fatherland, Calvert and Liberal are easy friends. And Erebonia's done nothing to deserve different. I imagine our relationship with Calvert has something to do with it, although beyond the gate is a mountain pass that would be difficult for an army to pass through. That's why the gate is so small as well, as I recall. Ah yes, far different from Haken Gate, which faces onto a great open road. The hell's with the chickens though, it's embarrassing. Now that I think about it, I wonder if you see the other side of this gate in the Calvert game that came out recently. I feel like that's definitely something that they would do, because in the Crossbell, or not the Crossbell, in the Erebonia games, it's like, the very first one is like, oh, look, here's the other side of the fucking gate. Ah, whatever. Let's get to asking some questions. We should probably say hi to whoever's in charge first. Right. Alright, chicken. Tell me. Come back, chicken. Who's it? Oh, I got an egg from the chicken. Who's in charge, chicken? Which one of you is the leader? I don't know. I feel like of those groups, Gallade would be a good one. I could almost see Typhlosion as a good way to represent the sort of like the difference between like Reen when he's like being like cute or like silly shy with like Typhlosion without the fire on, and then him being intense when the fire is on, you know? Alright. Hello, good sir. Great weather again today, huh? You are doing a good job. Make sure to protect those chickens. You're the Bracers Guild called ahead about, right? You're here to investigate the earthquake, from what Miss Killica said on the phone. Ah, yeah, that's right. Wow, I keep forgetting how thorough Killica is. Ha! She even keeps us on our toes every now and then. Anyway, we'll do everything we can to help. Cheers! To start with, how about you explain how the earthquake went down? Well, let's see. The earthquake happened 3 days ago at roughly 1700 hours. The quake itself wasn't all that strong, and it only lasted 10 seconds. Still though, earthquakes rarely ever happen around here. Some of my men are spooked, let me tell you. The part that spooked me, though, was once I contacted Command at Listen Fortress to report. They told you that no other part of the region had experienced an earthquake, yes? Exactly right, miss. And it wasn't just Leiston, even Sankheim Gate didn't feel anything. And they're practically up the damn road. I called in to Zeiss and Elmo and learned they'd felt nothing either. It's like Killica said. Speaking of which, did you hear there was an earthquake at Zeiss today? Yeah, I heard about that. And that's the thing, we didn't feel as much of a wobble here. The localized earthquakes that only strike small, specific areas. Not what I would call the most natural thing in the world. I would have the only way I could see Golurk with Altina would be the whole like if you wanted to make a case for it being similar to like the robot like mech suit thingy that she makes. I could see Cinderace though. Or say no, not the mech suit. If you wanted to say it was Clom Soleus. Alright. Well, that covers the quake. Anything else happen that caught your attention aside from that? likely to see anyone strange. No. I've heard no meaningful reports from my men. It's possible they saw something so minor they didn't feel the need to report it to me immediately, though. Bronzong is a really good choice. Feel free to ask them some questions, maybe jog their memory a bit. Sure, thanks, sir. Let's go talk to the gate guard. Also, can we not rest here? I guess we can't rest here. What's up? We're from the Bracers Guild. I hope we're not disturbing you, but could you answer some questions? Oh, sure. Estelle asked the soldier about anything odd that he might have seen when the earthquake happened. Odd things? I was, checking the lights blocking abilities on my hat when the quake hit, so, I thought the chief was yelling at me at first. But no, I didn't. I didn't see anything. I mean, I thought it was a prank at first, not an earthquake. It wasn't really all that strong. This isn't so much as a strange occurrence as it is just an admission that you're awful at your job. But to sleep standing, that's a rare skill, Estelle. I, however, can consume an entire full-course meal while asleep on the sofa. Why the hell are you trying to brag about that? So, was there anything else that you can remember at all? Actually, Henning said he saw something weird, but... Something weird? Well, this was the day before the earthquake, mind you. One of the other guards here, Henning, asked if anyone passed through the gate. When I told him I hadn't seen anyone, he just shook his head. Well, that's curious. I wonder what that was about. He might be able to tell us something. Let's go talk to this Henning guy. Yeah, I feel like Toxicroak is a really good match for Ash. That sort of like mischievous kind of like punk vibe that it can get. I'd say similarly with Frostlass alongside Muse. Kurt with two blades is pretty straightforward, obvious, like you said. Yeah, we're the Bracer Guild. We'd like you to help out with our investigation. I don't mind, but keep it short. Asked if they saw anything suspicious. Earthquake? You mean the one 3 days ago? The day the earthquake happened was just a normal day. If anything suspicious happened, I'd have reported it long ago. I see. Seems like this is a swing and a miss. Is that all you need? Yeah, that's plenty. Sorry to disturb your work. No problem. We're both on the job after all, aren't we? Well, then, if you excuse me. Yeah, I guess that's a fair point. Now that I think about it, there are a good number of Master Quartz that are like based off of the like Zodiac killer, no, but the Zodiac signs, right? It's one of those things where I remember like they're basically I remember their names when I'm actually playing the game. But when it's just like been forever since, it's just sort of like, oh yeah, wait, what? How does this work again? Alright, talk. You have a moment? Sure, what is it? We're with the Bracer Guild. We'd like to help you, we'd like you to help with our investigation, though, if you can anyway. No problem. Not like I have any customers anyway. Estelle asked if anything odd happened before or after the earthquake. Sorry, no, I only remember the earthquake itself. Heck of a surprise that was. When it suddenly hit, I was like, Gah! I was shocked. So, was there nothing that caught your attention before or after the earthquake? Particularly different from the norm, no. I mean, I was in the bar the whole time, so there wouldn't have been a whole lot that could happen. Yeah, of course. With Joshua, I disagree on Bisharp. It would be that one like ninja bug dude with the scarf. That's way more in line with Joshua, especially with the scarf thingy that he's got. Doesn't seem like there's any leads to follow here. Sorry I couldn't be more help. No, don't worry about it. Thanks for your cooperation. I forget the thing's name, to be honest. Oh, hello, what is it? It's a bug, the bug one. Not Greninja, it's the one that evolves from Shelmet. Hey, we're from the Bracers Guild. We've got a couple of questions about the earthquake a few days back. Oh, yeah, I gotta say I was surprised. First time I've ever been in an earthquake. I had no idea what was going on. So, what do you want to know? So, the thing is, we talked to Bram and explains the situation. Oh, right, that. Yeah, I did ask him that. You asked if someone had passed through the gate. Yeah, let me explain. So, 4 days ago, I just finished my watch and was going off duty. Just as I was leaving, though, I saw a weird man coming up the road. A weird man? Was it a man garbed in white with a mask, perchance? A mask? No, he wasn't that weird. Yeah, Excelgor, I think that's its name. He was a tall guy wearing a black suit. He also had these black glasses on. Black glasses? Those could be sunglasses, right? Yeah, they're pretty rare still, so it's likely the same guy. Sunglasses, huh? Anyway, just before I went on break, I saw him coming up the road. Most of the travelers who pass by here stop at the bar, so I figured I'd see him inside. I take it he didn't? Yeah, that's the thing. He didn't show, so I asked Bram, and he said nobody passed through. And he's a lazy slob, but he ain't so bad at his job that he'd just let a stranger pass through without checking. Perhaps he had some business at your barracks? He may have spoken to your commander, for example. See, I was pretty curious at that point and asked the commander. And he said nobody had been in there during that time period either. So I have to wonder what happened to that guy I saw. Doesn't seem like he came through. Okay, this is really suspicious. We should tell Kilika about it. Yeah, no question. Thanks for sharing all that with us. It's my pleasure. I feel better having gotten it all off my chest. Alright. Well, I think we're done at the gate, then. Oh, we should probably talk. Yeah, that's true. I forgot that phones exist in this world. Hello again. Were my men helpful? Actually, yeah. So Henning saw a suspicious man. Hard to think he has something to do with the earthquakes, but he sounds suspicious regardless. I'll report this to Commander at least. Yeah, thanks. Alright, think this about wraps it up. Let's go back to Kilika and tell her what we know. Alright. In terms of the Hunter x Hunter world, I feel like it's not too crazy different from the world of Trails. The only difference I'd say is that Hunter x Hunter has a bit like slightly higher technology. Like Hunter x Hunter is definitely one of those like, you know, fantasy elements with like some modern stuff in there. So I feel like they'd probably be surprised by some of the stuff, but at the end of the day, I don't think I feel like they'd be able to adapt the world of Hunter x Hunter pretty well. Hey, you lot! Good, I made it in time. Oh, what do you mean, sir? Has something happened? I contacted Leaston about what we talked about previously and heard something surprising. I figure it's up to me to let you know. Surprising? Surprising what now? Wait, don't tell me. Yeah, there was just an earthquake at Songtime Gate. What? Hearing this, Estelle's group rushed to Songtime Gate. I feel like Ash would consider Killua as like a brat, and the two of them would spend most of their first interaction like butting heads. What the hell is with you fool bracers? Can't you see we're in the middle of cleaning up after the earthquake? If you have to nose around, I'd prefer you did it later. Sorry, sir, but this is our job. We won't get in the way of We won't get in the way of your Kleenex, but we will get in the way of your cleanup. Do you mind if we do a little questioning? HQ hadn't ordered I'd tell you a lot to clear out. I've got some urgent business to take care of. You can get the details from my second command, Warrant Officer Talbot. He's in the storage area over there, cleaning up. Okay, we'll talk to him, thanks. Just make damn sure you don't interfere with any actual work going on here. Now, if you excuse us. I think it would be interesting to see an interaction between, like, with, like how Kurapika would deal with somebody like Joshua or even Reen. Like, I feel like Reen would try to help Kurapika get past the revenge, while Joshua would empathize with him. Whoa, it's really is kind of bad in there. Also, Emma would probably immediately be feel kind of like annoyed by or like exhausted by you know, remember that, I don't remember her name, the girl in the pink dress that's like secretly really old and can turn buff. Emma would probably be like, it's just like my grandmother. No. Oh, it's really is kind of bad in here. Do you think we should help out a little? I mean, just be friendly? To be honest, I'd keep your hands to yourself. This is a military facility, remember? There might be a secret document or something scattered around that we aren't supposed to see. Oh, yeah, good point, I guess. Still, this is quite a bit more damage than the city of Zeiss earthquake, isn't it? Yeah, Biscuit, that's her name. That didn't cause nearly as much of a mess. The ferocity of the gate should be a primary line of inquiry, then. As well as asking about our mystery man. Yeah, the guy with in the sunglasses. Well, first things first, let's talk to the second-in-command guy. I'm trying to remember which guy Nobunaga was. Was he one of the spiders? Also, where is the closet? Closet. Nope. Here we go. Crap, this is gonna be such a pain to clean up. Still up my hide if it isn't done by nightfall, though. Excuse us. Sorry to disturb you. And you are? Introduced themselves as racers and explained they were investigating the earthquake. Okay, yeah. That's who I thought it was, but I wasn't certain. To be honest, the only scene. Oh, I didn't realize. Okay. The only scene I remember of Nobunaga is that one bit where like Gon and Killua are like captured or whatever by them in like the middle of like a abandoned building or something like that, and they have to try and escape. I see. Thanks for the concern, even if Dale doesn't share my thanks. So you want to know the situation was like when the earthquake happened, right? Yeah, in as much detail as you can give us. Rex, what are you doing? What, you want up here? Come here. Come here. Come here. Or are you gonna dance away now that I'm willing to give you attention, huh? Huh? My dog is being such a goober. He's like, here, come, I want to play with you. I'm like, okay, come up here. And he's like, never mind. And now he's back. Wah. Wah. This is the kind of harassment I have to deal with on a regular basis. My dog. Yeah, and as much detail as you can give. Understood. The earthquake began at roughly 1300 hours, 2 hours ago. The earthquake lasted about 30 seconds and was strong enough to knock down big piled up boxes. Wait, so compared to the quake at the Wolf Fort, it was stronger, it lasted longer. The shaking was stronger. I was not paying attention to how long they said it was. I want to say that's true, but shook for longer too, I think. Yeah, I got it wrong. Sure, why not, Rain? And then there's the one that in the city. That fall about in the middle, I guess. Meaning then the quakes are getting more powerful each time. That's kind of bad, isn't it? The situation does seem to be worsening. But these are natural occurrences. I don't see how we can stop them. I don't suppose the Racer Guild has any ideas. Rex, what are you doing underneath there? Hmm? Come here. Get up here. Come on. If you're gonna be harassing me, you're coming up here. Come on. Come on. Come on. There you go. Climb on up. Ah. Ooh. Dog butt in my face. Go on. Okay. There we go. Now he can no longer harass me. I have him captured. Okay. We're not really sure yet, but we're pursuing a few leads. Speaking of which, did anything weird happen before or after the earthquake? Like, was there any suspicious people walking around? Suspicious people? Come to think of it, Chesley? Chesley mentioned something about a strange man yesterday. He was cleaning the roof if you want to hear details from him. Cleaning the roof, huh? Alright, thanks. Thanks for helping us out, sir. Not at all. Good luck. To the roof. Are you on the roof, Rex? Are you going to be silly on the roof? Wait, the roof. Okay. Yeah. I think we just have to wrap all the way around. Roof man. Ricky and Anton! This guy climbed up top the wall when the earthquake hit. He was so shocked by the shaking, he almost fell. Had the earthquake been getting stronger, he might have really fallen. At least you're lucky in one way, Anton. Boy, that was scary. I almost fell. Anton and Ricky. Huh? Who are you guys? You're Private Chesley, right? We're with the Bracer Guild. Mind if we ask you about the earthquake that happened a little while back? A little bit ago, rather? Estelle's group asked about the suspicious man Chesley saw. Oh, right. The guy from yesterday. I don't know if he has anything to do with the earthquake, but I did see a tall man around with black sunglasses around. I knew it. He must be the same man seen at the Wolf Fort. Sir, did you see what this man was doing? Well, he seemed like kind of a tourist, really. Looked at the scenery for a bit, then came down. He sort of caught my attention since you don't see glasses like that often. He didn't say anything to me and walked off, though. I did have a chance to talk to him. Okay. Did anyone else see this guy, maybe? You know, that's where it gets weird, thinking about it. I brought the guy up at dinner since he was kind of weird, but practically nobody else even saw the guy. The only one who remembers seeing him was Tammy, who works in the mess hall. Unlike the Wolf Lord, this guy sees quite a bit of traffic. And yet, despite this, there were only 2 witnesses. How wonderfully spooky. All the more reason to see what the girl has to say. You said Tammy's in the mess hall, right? Thanks, I keep wanting to say Chelsea, but it's Chesley. It's such a weird name. You were a big help. No problem. And, yeah, she should be in the mess hall. Good luck with your investigation. And now we hoof it back down the stairs. I feel like I've talked before about how between, like, streams I'll, like, lose a voice or whatever, which reminds me I never went and looked back at the VOD to see how I did the professor's voice, but I feel like, hello, it's wonderful to see you. Like, my voice for Olivier just, like, changes all the time. Because it's, like, me trying to be, like, flirtatious and, like, maybe a little bit, like, deeper, but, like, definitely does not always come out the same way as it normally us.
Phew, all cleaned again. Thank the goddess.
Huh?
Hey, you're Timmy, right? We're from the Bracers Guild. You mind if we ask you a couple questions? Yep, we asked about the sunglasses man.
Oh, ooh, him, yeah. I passed by him on the second floor in the hallway yesterday. I think he was coming down from the roof.
That would match what a soldier friend said, yes. Did you exchange any words when you passed by?
Well, I did say hello. He just kinda grinned in response and said, yo. Ooh, just thinking about it makes me all tingly again. He was so wild. Oh, heart.
Wild? So what, like Aga here? What's that supposed to?
Describes a bit taller than your friend. He had a dark suit, but opened really casually at the chest, right? It looked amazing in it. Oh, and he was wearing a pair of black gloves, I think. So, sunglasses, a dark suit, and black gloves. Right.
This guy might as well be wearing a sign on his head saying, I am sinister, be suspicious of my evil ways.
Oh, I wouldn't say suspicious. He just had a sense of danger about him. You know, that dangerous tough guy charm, right?
Right, anyway. So you just passed by and said hi and didn't see him afterwards, right?
Yeah, unfortunately. I chased after him a bit. I thought we could, get to know each other, or, anyway. I lost track of him in a weird way.
Weird way, how so?
It'd be easier to show you. Follow me. Excuse me, Sanders, can I step out for a moment?
Yeah, go ahead. Just get back before the dinner rush. I feel like, Green, I feel like the first, what you just said looks like the second half of like a two-part message. I'm only seeing the part that begins with which is ironic. So I think something happened to the first bit you meant to send there.
So this is where I passed him, right here. He went walking in this direction. I turned to follow him after a moment. Figured I'd chat with him, right? Okay. When I turned, I saw that door over there closing. So I thought, he must have stepped out. Here's my chance to talk to him before he leaves. So I followed him, but... By the time I screwed up my courage and came out, he was nowhere to be seen.
I've never heard the word screw up to refer to like getting, like building up your courage. Let's see here. I mean, that just seems like a really weird person that you ran into, right? Looking at part one there and what you said afterwards, I do agree that like I feel like male tsunderes are definitely like rarer. I generally don't like tsunderes in general, but I feel like because there aren't as many male tsunderes, like there's a lot less tropes for them to fall on, you know? Usually it's just a guy who's like shy to admit to his feelings or something like that, but they don't go as so far as to become like schizophrenic or anything like that, you know? Alright.
In other words, I lost him, but I lost him here. Lost? But wait a second. How is it possible? This is a dead end, isn't it? Yeah, and there's no way he could have jumped down from this height, right? I figured I'd made a mistake and thought he went elsewhere. Looked all over Sondheim for him, but I never saw him. Kinda makes me want to jump off in the end there. I missed my chance!
Ah, you poor kitten. If you would please you, I could help you forget such lesser men.
Knock it off. No one deserves that kind of trauma.
Anyway, think we have a pretty good idea of what happened. Thanks. Sorry we had to drag you out here.
You're welcome.
But yeah.
So, is he some kind of wanted man? Like a super skilled, cold-blooded assassin on the run from the Brazers Guild? I don't know about that, but he's definitely a dangerous guy. Look, if you see him again, don't go near him, okay? Trust me. But he's so cool! Oh, wow.
Yeah, I feel like Green there are definitely people who, when you go and disagree with their opinion on something, will just go and throw out like a random like statement to go and try and like discredit you, so they don't have to try and have like a discussion. Which is unfortunate, but all you can really do when it starts to get to that is be like, no, and then just disengage. Because there's not really a way that, like, it's not really a situation where you're going to be able to, like, talk somebody into, like, thinking otherwise. So, you've basically already begun, like, having a discussion on the wrong foot, and it's no longer a, like, here's a fun time we're having kind of vibe, you know?
Anyway, I've got some things to prepare, so excuse me. Keep up the good work, everyone.
Like, if I wanted to have a discussion with somebody about how I liked Laura, and they were like, no, actually, you only like Laura because she's rich and she's got, like, she's, like, really, like, strong or whatever, in, like, a very emphatic way of, like, trying to be accusatory, it would be like, yeah, I don't feel like talking with you anymore, you know, so...
There's no way you could have jumped down from the site, Estelle, does that remind you of anyone? Yeah.
Louis. Lawrence.
That silver-haired monster who jumped off the top of Gransel Castle, the man we know as Lawrence. If the other ones are like him, I think they could survive from here. They could jump from here and survive.
Yeah. Don't think there'd be anybody about who our sunglasses is. Yeah. Wait. I don't think there's any doubt about who our sunglasses guy is now.
Another enforcer of Ouroboros, just like the Phantom Thief then.
No doubt about it. We're definitely done investigating. Let's head back to the guild house. Well, that's good. It's always nice when you can have people like get in your back when somebody's being dumb like that. It is a shame to go and see people like, I feel like, you know, the Legend of Heroes franchise, while it's definitely like popular amongst with people, it's not as like big or as widespread as, you know, something as like, you know, a Persona or a Fire Emblem or anything like that. So it's always a shame to go when you go and see people be so like destructively argumentative. At least for me, it's one of those things where it's like, yo, could you try to get along maybe a little bit better before you're like, no, only my opinion is correct. But I suppose that's just internet culture in general, unfortunately. Alright, Alright, let's go report to Carl before we report to Kilika. Alright, I think he was on the 4th floor? Maybe? No, 3rd floor then. There's just something funny about seeing your dog all sort of bundled up like a bird that's just sort of like sitting in their nest. It's just like a little clump. Alright, let me save real quick. I think we've done everything. It said report at this point. Hey, come to report? Yeah, we fought the battles. Well then, allow us to report the results to date. Olivia reported the current results to the tester, Carl. Yeah, seems like you fought enough. Alright, we'll call the test complete. Phew, finally over. That was rougher than I expected. Seems like you worked hard. But as a humble assistant, it was the least I could do. So, Olivia, was there any problems? No, absolutely none. Stable trajectory and a perfectly centered balance. I'm eager to see a fine piece of work like this out in the market. Phew, thank goodness. You have no idea how relieved I am to hear that. Alright, seems like I can finally see the production phase on the horizon. Oh, it's not going to be mass produced yet. It looks like it's pretty done. It's pretty done from my point of view. No, it still needs a bit more time. Now I need to hone in on the fine details for the manufacturing. And I'm able to do that because of the results you got me from this test. This new info should make further research fly ahead. Ah, keep up the good work. A new orbital gun. A new model orbital gun. I'll be expecting great things. No, I read that in the wrong voice. A new orbital model gun. I'll be expecting great things. Yeah, looking forward to it. Oh, right, one sec before you go. Huh? Was there something else? Yeah, take this with you. Hit 3. It was bothering me a bit that the reward was kind of meager. Well, think of this as making up for that. It's not a bad thing to have a bit of, wait. It's not a bad thing to have a bit of, so please take it. Yeah, thanks. Well, we'll be glad to use it. Well, then, if anything else comes up, I'll call you guys. You all take care. See you later. Yeah, I definitely feel like she's not like super popular here in the States. So I guess that would go a fair bit to explain why you've run into some more extreme people with it. Because the smaller a group of people, the less like I guess I don't want to say normies because it's kind of like a derogatory term, but the less like average people there are to sort of like fill out and fluff out the difference between them and everybody, and like what people basically to change the visibility so you're not seeing only the people who are like mega for or mega against something. Tita, Professor, what are you doing here? Oh, Estelle, Agate. Perfect timing. Perfect timing. I'm gonna go with this for now. Oh, this might even be it. We've finished investigating the earthquake, so where are these hunks of junk? Junk? How rude. These are the little things I promised you earlier. We can get to that in a moment first. You did, I assume, investigate the Songtime Gate earthquake. I'd like to hear what you discovered both there and at the Wolf Fort. Right, okay, so report what they learned at the fort, the gate, and the city. So the earthquakes grow stronger with each occurrence, eh? That's quite serious, assuming the rate of growth you describe is constant. Yeah, one even stronger than the Sangtime one hitting the city would be really, really bad. And the man in glasses seems seen at all 3 locations. I would say it all but certain the man is an agent of Ouroboros. Given that, I think helping Professor Russell with his experiment is in our best interest. An experiment? What was this junk? Precisely so. These are septium vein measuring instruments I developed years ago. When placed properly on the ground, they can monitor the flow of septium veins in real time. Septium, I know I asked these questions, but what's a septium vein? They're huge veins of septium ore that run deep beneath the surface of the Earth. The energy flowing along them slowly moves the surface. In the distant past, they were referred to as both Earth veins and spirit veins. And I believe in the distant east, they're known as dragon veins, no. Very
knowledgeable, just so. The people of the East have built their greatest cities on places where dragon veins converge since time immemorial. The ideal has always been to gather the energy of the land and use it to give strength to the nation. Oh, okay. Okay then, I learned something. So these devices can stop earthquakes then? No, I'm afraid not. They will only monitor the flows passively. However, one leading theory is that the earthquakes are caused in part by septium veins flows bending the earth. If we monitor the veins, therefore, we may be able to discover something about what's causing these blasted earthquakes. I see. That means we need to make sure to set these up before another earthquake occurs. Right. So 3 devices means 3 places you have in mind, right, Gramps? I do. Take a look at the map. So I need you kids to set these up in 3 locations in this region. Firstly, on the northern trapped plains, where the stone circle is specifically. Next, smack dab in the middle of Chaldea Tunnel, right here near the first bridge. And finally, in front of Lacen Fortress. Here. That's where I need you to place the devices. Okay, I've got all that down. So, do we need to just set them on the ground? I'm afraid it isn't quite that easy. You'll need to insert the sensor needles into the ground at the right angle and also tune the antenna. An antenna? A transmission device, you say? So these devices will transmit the information gathered to another location. You're sharp! The antenna will send the data to our calculating orbit, the capel, so we can easily analyze the septium veins movements. With the capel, we can monitor all 3 locations at once. That sounds pretty cool, I guess. Will you be coming with us to help set this stuff up, Professor? No, I need to prepare the capel for all this. Tita knows what to do, so she can go with you. I get to work with Estelle again! Also, water check. Good old Agua. Alrighty, Tita's worth her weight in Mira anyway. Agate, you have no complaints, right? Does it look like that? No. Just don't daydream too much while fiddling with the machine's short stuff. Feel like if we left you to it, you wouldn't even notice monsters until you were actually in their mouths. Aw, Agate, you're mean. But you saved me if that happened, right? Brat. Tita cuteness 1, Agate 0. Wow, then I need to start tuning the capel. Once you've placed all the measuring instruments, head to the operations room in the central factory. Will do! Work hard, Grandpa! So we need to get all of these set up before the next earthquake. Let's get to it! Well, before that, our group here is getting a little crowded. Only 4 party members. Maybe be a good idea to keep someone here as backup and to make sure we don't go walking around with an army. Your combat party may only be made up of 4 people. From here on out, when the time comes to form a party, you may choose members aside from any story mandate members. If I'm being honest, Olivier is better. But I like Chloe more. But Olivier's better. Yeah, he's better.
Your aid, please.
Hold on a second.
Your aid, please.
What do they say?
Together now. Great.
Okay. Very well. I'll be on the 2nd floor. If you need me at any time, don't hesitate to ask. Bye. Receive a reserve party members who go on the 2nd floor of the local guild. Speaking of them, you can swap out the ones that you have. This should be okay then. Let's see. So we need to set up an instrument in the tunnels on the North Plains and in front of Lacen Fortress. Is there any order we should tackle that in? I shall leave that to your judgment. I will, however, contact Lacen ahead of you. To explain our circumstances, I cannot imagine they will take issue with our gathering data in front of their gate. Good idea! Then move out then. Tita, keep up. Okay! Alright, now that I think about it,
probably, yeah. No, we'll leave the things be. Okay, yeah, no, we'll be fine. It'll be fine. All right. Give you impede and hit and action and evade. Why not? All right. Oh, let's report our other stuff. Septium vein. Speaking of septium veins. Anything new? There is part search. Sub-orbit parts have gone missing in Central Factory, recruiting persons to help search. Seek to Eric on the first floor. Eliminate the peeping Tom. Death to voyeurs! It's a bad, dumb cliche. No, we don't need voyeurs anymore. Stop it. More recently, we've had rumors of a peeping Tom around the open bat at Elmo Hot Springs. I'd like someone to come to Elmo when they have some time. That monster, a dangerous monster. Yaka has been sighted on the trap plains. Specializes in blood-sucking attack, has high recovery abilities. Okay. Sold that army monster. With roar before dying, and that roar invigorates his allies. Okay. Alright, so we will talk to Eric. And while we're over at the factory, we'll take care of the tunnel, and let's also see about making some cords. Yeah, let's do one of those. One of those. And one of those. One of those. Yeah, so I tend to go and throw, whatchamacallit. Because, like, I know I will always have Estelle in my party, I tend to go and put the things like this, like Septium Vein and Heaven's Eye, like these effect things that are good to just constantly have on. I tend to stick them on her. So, alright, okay, and action 2. Let's give you poison. I guess we can give action here since Tita was required to have gold and there's that needs to be upgraded. Alright, I don't think I can upgrade that slot. I've done the thing again where I would have been able to do it, but I went, but the number of times this exact scenario has happened is larger than it should be. Alright. We will leave that be for now. I'm sure we'll just make sure to fight some stuff while we're in the oh wait, let's talk to Eric first. Eric. Oh wait, Eric. No, you're not Eric. Are you Eric? You're Eric. Okay. Welcome to the Central Factory maintenance desk. Are you looking for something? Aren't you the one looking for us? Me? Looking for... Wait. Ah, so you guys are the bracers then. Yeah, we saw your request on the board. Ah, thanks for coming. I really am in a bit of a fix. Anyway, do you have time to hear about the problem? Yeah. Yeah. To get right to the point, it sounds like you're looking for something? Yes, I'm looking for some small ornament parts. I was going around checking to see if the equipment here is unharmed, and I guess they all spilled out of the hole in my pocket while I was moving around. You had a hole in your pocket? Yeah, that'd do it. Yeah, this is totally my mistake. I knew it was starting to tear, but, well... I was freaking out when the earthquake happened, and I just stuffed them in my pocket without thinking. So, they stumbled from your person while you were walking around. Yes, I believe we can grasp the particulars of this case. So the job is to find those parts. Yeah, that's right. But many open parts are delicate little things. Seeking them out sounds like quite the arduous task. Now that you mention it, that does sound like a pain. Yeah, I think so too. But fear not, I have a secret weapon for you. A secret weapon? Please use this metal detector. What's this? So this is a bit of an oddball metal detector we've invented. This metal detector can pinpoint specific metals. In other words, you can select a specific metal to search for. That does sound pretty incredible, but what does this have to do with the job? A lot, of course. Oh, I think I get it. If we said to search for just the kinds of metal used in the parts? I see. So in other words, it can be set to respond only to the parts. Ah, okay, so that's how it works. Yes, exactly. Get close to something that looks promising, then use the detector. If there are any parts, there should be some kind of response. Yeah, got it. The machine will help, but we'd like to cut down the areas we'd have to search to. When you drop the parts, you remember where you'd been? I was in the workshop on the 3rd floor and the lab on the 4th. I already checked the elevator and hallways, so just need to focus your search on those 2 rooms. 3rd floor workshop and the lab on the 4th floor. Alright, got it. I think there should be about 8 parts I lost. If you can find at least half, that'd be a huge help. Well, we'll do our best. If we find any parts, we'll come back here. Yes, please do. I'll also ask you to return the detector then. Got any other info? If not, we'll be gone. Ah, yeah, there is one more thing. Give the lab on the 4th floor a real one-over. I played with Antoinette while I was up there for a bit. I'm sure I probably dropped a bunch of parts in there. Antoinette? You mean the cat living in the factory? Yeah, that's Antoinette. He can be real cute, but this time I'm kind of annoyed with him. Well, I mean, I'm not trying to blame him, but I'm sure I lost a lot of parts playing with him. Now I feel kind of bad for Antoinette. Well, let's get moving. Good luck. I'm counting on you guys. Roger that. We'll be back when we find something. For some reason, I have this vague memory of needing the metal detector for something else as well, but I do not remember what it is. Like some kind of side quest that's like, oh, you still have this metal detector right now. Like, I don't remember, and the fact that I don't remember means I probably just won't end up doing it. Okay. Pop. Alrighty. I'm happy to have Tita back in the party. She's really fun to use. And she's really good to boot. Bonk. Yeah, Turtle definitely better physical defense than magic. Or I guess arts. Let's see here. Hopefully we get enough Sepith along the way that we'll be able to go and upgrade her battle ornament. I would definitely prefer her using the like combo quartz. I believe I've already gone and like opened up these chests, so I can at least avoid that. Get out of here! I think there's also a like a kill quest in this area as well. I'm just sitting here being smacked around by stingrays. I'm like thinking, are they poisonous? I know real life stingrays are poisonous, but like these things are like part stingray, like part like jellyfish or something.
We did it!
Yo, wait, I just noticed Tita's level 40, everyone else is 48. Oh boy. The small child is indeed small child. Alright, no blind or poison. And we'll keep your that'll work. I mean, it makes sense. She is like the youngest, probably like supposed to be like the weakest physically and stuff like that. But she literally has half the health of everybody else. But it's also just one of those like, oh wait, crap.
Enjoy the show.
I hope she leveled up. Well, there's no hoping. She will level up quickly because of the level difference. Alright, oh wait, I already killed the Chaldea monster. Okay, which means I need to go in, do the thing, and then we'll be out. Can I get up? Yeah! Perfect. Using arts. Hello, good sir. Have you heard the good news of Sniper Shop?
You feeling lucky?
Lucky fuck. I've actually never seen any of the Dirty Harry movies, which that's a reference to. She doesn't have an imp. Can I hit from here? I cannot. Alrighty. The magic of having like 0 oof. I need to make some of those. Because range actually doesn't matter with her. Okay. I'ma just fire arrow. Get over here, turtle. And nope.
Take that.
Have to take care of the guard first. And it still survives. This is one of those moments where it's like, ah yes, of course they survived. It's Agate using the art. You chonky turtle. Well, I think he's trying to do a heal, but either way, no arts for you. Stop it. I said no arts for you.
You feeling lucky?
That doesn't mean just keep spamming arts until it works. Or I guess keep spamming arts. You missed? Alright. Get over here. Alright. Alright, she definitely won't make it there in time. But you can still hit with Knuckle Bleed. There we go.
Enjoy the show.
It definitely was longer than it needed to be, but what can you do? Alright, we need to... Crap. There we go. Is this a crab? It is a crab. I'm not gonna lie, crabs are like so creepy looking. Like, It's one of those things where like you go and like look at them at like the store or like same as like lobsters and like, yo, you are just like an ocean spider who decided to spec into defense. Like it's like a major. Okay, first bridge right over here. Okay. Let's see. This is the place we're after. The first bridge in the Chaldea Tunnel, right?
Uh-huh. We just need to set on either side of the bridge, I think. There's an orbital charging device over here, so this is a bad spot. Which means... we'll go with the other side! Woo! Okay, point the antenna down the tunnel just so... Yeah, this should be okay. Estelle, putting the device here should work. Should I set it up? Okay, I'll start setting it up. Just give me a minute. All done! Whoa, so this is what it looks like when it's all together? Wow! Wait, what's this dish like then? Oh, that's a kind of antenna for broadcasting orbital waves called a parabolic antenna. It puts out really powerful waves that can cover really long distances. It can even broadcast from inside a place like the Chaldea Tunnel.
That most impressive tool. I don't recall seeing anything like this at the corner tool shop.
Well, I don't think it's for sale anywhere yet. It's one of Grandpa's inventions though, so I bet it'll be in Central Factory. I bet the Central Factory will start selling them pretty soon.
Lovely.
I guess I'm too much of a country girl to appreciate how incredible it is. This thing will transmit earthquake info back to us though, right? Not yet. I haven't started it up yet. Just need to flip the switch. Yay! Now it works! Great work, Tita. Although, is it really okay to just leave it here when it could be attacked by monsters? The antenna looks easy to break, too. Oh, it'll be okay. When it's powered on, it repels monsters like street lamps, too. Oh, okay. That works then. Hey! Estelle! Huh? Oh, hey! Annalise, Shara, too! Hey, it's been a while! I didn't think we'd meet up here of all places.
And I see a familiar face has caught up with you as well. Weren't you staying at Elmo Hot Springs? Ah, but Shara, there are currents deeper than the sea at play here.
Meaning you're tagging along out of curiosity? Pretty much, yeah. The bobs and slings I endure from you two. Hi Shara, it's been a while. Oh my.
Tita's here too? Alright. Kilika mentioned getting powerful Professor Russell's help in investigating the earthquakes. You must be helping with that then?
Yep. Annalise? What's up? You're spacing out. I can't stop myself anymore!
Huh?
You are the cutest thing! I cannot not hug you! So cute, so cute, so cute! Wah, 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 wah!
Wah wah wah. Wah 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 wah.
Wah, wah, wah! Oh, right. Annalise loves cute things. Didn't I, call this at one point? I'll make sure she doesn't smother Tita. Your name is Tita, right? I'm Annalise,
Elfin lead. We'll just go with Elfie.
You can call me Annalise, okay? What? What? You're even cuter when you get all confused. Shara, I claimed this cutie for the Bracer Guild. We will be taking her with us. I know how you feel, but I don't think that's a good idea.
If I were you, I'd be worried about her big brother over there. What are you staring at me for?
So, Shara, why are you guys out here?
Did you come looking for us? No, this is just a happy coincidence. We're on the trail of some clues concerning the Sky Bandits in the old Intelligence Division.
Huh? The Sky Bandits in the You mean, they're there are guys from that, from those still on the loose?
That's right. There's still men from both the army, from both that. That's right. There's still men from both that the army haven't caught. You guys found some kind of clue?
Well, the guild has witness calls pouring in. Most of them aren't all that reliable, though.
We've been investigating throughout the country, following up on some leads of more reliable sort. Though I was curious. I heard one of the Ouroboros showed up in Rome.
Yeah, a weirdo one in the opera suit calling himself the Phantom Thief.
Even with that stupid costume, the guy was a powerhouse. If he'd really tried to fight us, it could have been bad for us.
Whoa, Agate saying someone was tough? Ouroboros really is dangerous in that case.
More mysterious than dangerous, I'd say. Well, remember, if you need our help, call us anytime. If you use the guild's orbiphone, we should be able to contact us quickly.
Yeah, we'll do that. And Tito for you, Shara. If anything happens, get in touch with us. We'll be there in an instant.
Good, I'll be counting on it. It is nice to see you again, but this is hardly a place for a long talk. It's about time we moved on.
Oh yeah, it's too bad, but I guess you're right. Oh, how cruel you are, Shara. How can you be so cold after finally reuniting with your beloved?
Oh? Well then, why don't you come with us? We can have a drink tonight to celebrate our reunion.
Oh hey, Shara can drink Shara can drink a Dinadile under the table, you know. Be cautious in your travels. Oh, for the love of... Why do you always try to do things that blow up in your face?
Hey, don't take this the wrong way, but you're two women traveling alone. Make sure you don't bite off more than you can chew, okay?
Whoa, whoa, Agate's being thoughtful? Hold the presses, I think the earth just shook again.
What did I just say about biting off and chewing?
Just kidding.
He does have a point, though.
Thank you, Agate.
We'll be careful, as should you.
Stay well, everyone. Estelle, Tita, next time we meet, let's hang out together. You bet. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
I didn't think we'd meet up with Sharon Annalise out here. Oh, Tita, are you okay? I was afraid that Annalise was gonna squeeze you like a grape. Yeah, I'm okay. That was kind of surprising, though.
Well, she's not a bad person, so forgive her, okay? Still, though, remnants of the bandits and the intelligence goons? Both seem to have secret society backing. If those two do a good job, we might get some valuable clues.
We'd better do our best, too.
Anyway, so, right here is fine, right? Should be. Let's get the stuff to, let's get the rest of the stuff set up.
Right.
Okay. Let's get a move on. Alright, we need more fire sepith, but none of these guys are dropping fire sepith. We'll have to probably get it from the fields, the plains or whatever. The wide open space in which one may go and traverse the area without much interference from the modern society forms of life. There's something wrong with the Okay, so the other two areas are Leysen Fortress and Elmo. I think we'll swing by we'll take care of the factory side mission with the thing first. Alright, I remember this being a pain because of you having to go and search a whole bunch of stuff. Very nearby. Orbit parts. I don't remember this animation of the little like thingy spinning around here though. Is that something that's new? Unless I'm just dumb. I could very well just be dumb. There we go. I'm on a roll. Any others? Alright, okay, they said that there are 8, right? There are 8 total. He wants us to get half. He said that there were more on the... I think he said there are more on the 4th floor. No response. There we go. That makes half. Very nearby. Let's just slam our face in the corner. What about the board? Hello. Got it. Nope. Well, over here. Very nearby. Okay, let's dig in the corner. Alright, what about near this box? Alright, that's 6. 2 more. Oh, nice. That makes 7. No response. Where, oh where? Are you hiding? I hate it. Why not just... You have to make me open the menu every time. Let's make it be a hotkeyable button or something, I don't know. What the... What is this? Monster journal? Okay. Where cat? Cat. Oh, would you look at that? Antoinette, you sneaky little cat. So you were carrying one of the parts. That would have been that would have been easy to miss. Come to think of it, Eric said he played with him for a bit. Maybe he found one of the parts and carried it back with him? I think so, but for him to bring it with him, man. Meow. Sorry, little kid. I'm afraid we'll be taking your toy. We'll get Eric to make it up to you. See you later, Antoinette. Alright, and that should be it. Yep, 8. Ba -ba -bum -ba -bum.
need to sneeze. Hey everyone, did you find the parts? It's going okay, I guess. For now, we'll report to what we got. You found 8 parts. Wait, did you really find all 8 parts? Estelle's like, oh no, it's going okay, I guess. And he's like, wait, you got everything? Yeah, but it's only going okay. Hey Cat. Oh, did we get all of them? Incredible, I totally given up. Anyway, if you could give me the parts in the detector. Phew, thanks for so much. I didn't think all the parts would be found. I'm glad we could find them for you. Will this be enough for the job? Yeah, of course. I feel kind of bad making you go this far. Ah, right. That reminds me, I had that. What you got for us? Here, Blake, take this, please. It may not be much, but think of it as a symbol of my sincere and super relieved thanks. A buzzer. Well, thank you. Are you sure we can have that? Yeah, don't worry about it. You really saved my butt. Anyway, thanks again for today. Thanks to you guys, I should be able to catch back up on work what I was doing. That's good, but, you should really fix that hole in your pocket. Yeah, I probably should. Guess I'll better find a sewing kit. If you need help with that, just contact the guild. We'll arrive anytime, thread and needle in hand. Thanks for your thoughts on this. Anyways, thanks again for today. I hope to see you again. We can leave the thread needle behind though. Yeah, next time. Well then, later! Alrighty, what does the buzzer do again? Ooh, that's really good. Alright, my friend. There you go. There's still a part of me that's like, actually, you need the metal detector for some other thing on the side, and because you've gone and turned in, or completed that quest, it means that you will now no longer be able to, but, you know. It's okay. It's not the end of the world. It's only the end of this world, not the world. Alright, crap. Snake mushroom mon. So we need to get to the hot springs, which is just going the other way than where we started traveling. Oh, that shouldn't take too long.
Take that.
And I think Stonehenge is near the hot springs as well.
We did it!
Okay, let's look at the map. Not that map, this map. I think actually... We'll find out. We'll go south. Alright. Any treasure chests hiding about? Leave me alone, snakes. No snakes. I don't want to get into another battle of them endlessly calling reinforcements over and over again. River snail. I once heard on the playground that if you check a certain chest enough, it'll give you all the items and as much beer as you can hold. Is it? Here, let me, Here, actually, I'll just fix it in the file. No, wait, options. Here we go. Actually, this might be a general issue. Hold on. Is that a little bit better? If not, I'll mess with it here in game. It's hard for me to tell sometimes because there are definitely some tracks that are like louder than others. Okay, good. Yeah, because like there are definitely some moments where it's like I do a sound test before. Look at all these sheep. Uh oh, that sheep is about to go super. What? Why was he glowing? I think we may have just walked in on something we shouldn't have. The one true sheep god is here to reign supreme. Alrighty. Yeah. They're like, bah bah, have you brought tribute?
sheep mafia here to stay. Nope. Alright, fireball. Alright. You can't eliminate us if we eliminate you first. Get out of here. Kapow! It barely survived. Hey, they're creepy sheep. They deserve it. They deserve all the abuse. They're creepy. Look at them. They got like monkey toes. What kind of sheep have monkey toes? Okay, I need to give a move to her so that she can hit these things. So look, they do bad touches to people.
Piece of cake.
Alright. Okay, do I have... I don't think I have any backup move. Yeah, I don't. Alright, so what... Where... Agate definitely needs it. I only have the one move? Great, alright, well, I'll have to fix it at a later time, I guess. I guess for now, I'll just have to, battle position. I'll just have to put her closer than she currently is. We can stick you, like, there we go. We'll do that. You know, considering some of the things that I feel like these sheep get up to, it wouldn't surprise me if there actually is like a canonical sheep mafia somewhere in this universe. Alright, and Wild Rage. Get out of here. These little, like, squirrel possum thingy dudes are also pretty funny. Because they'll just legitimately play dead as one of their attacks. And it's like, oh, it's a charge move. It's a charge move that does nothing. And take this.
Enjoy the show.
Okay, level up. I guess, Reen, the question is, what range of price are you looking for? Because affordable can mean a lot of different things. Because I do have a good artist that I have commissioned with before, and I do think her prices are good, but it's one of those things where it's like they're good because like I think that like it's worth the money that I spend with her, and she though I went for the like the full body one, which means that it's cost more. Are you okay? And I'll need to go and look at. Let's see here.
We're good to go.
I do have somebody who might fit that description. If I can. Alright. Okay. I do have somebody that I've used before
Um, they are Lunar Designs on Twitter. I think that on they're like at Lunar Design 76. If you're wanting to do chibi, I think you'd probably be able to get it in that like price range. But I've commissioned with them to go and do like my Final Fantasy 14 character and stuff like that, and she does some really good stuff. Let's see here. I could probably use a few more heals. Okay. Oh wait, that's right. Did I get any? I barely got any fire sepith. All right. To be fair, I guess I didn't fight that much while I was here. Here we go. Sword technique, 8-leaf blitz. Eat this, bullet barrage. Bang, 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 bang. Yo, these kids are having a full-on fantasy duel over here. Oh, what a grand feat of leaping. Oh, ho, ho, how amusing. Oh, welcome. I see little Tita's with you. Hi, Mrs. Mao. Long time no see, Mrs. Mao. Why, hello, Estelle. It has been a while. You're looking more and more grown up every time I see you. You think so? Madam, thank you for your care the other day. Oh, I thought I recognized you. If it isn't Olivia, what brings you back so soon? Huh? I have my reasons. For now, I've been accompanying Estelle as her supporter. Do you two know each other? We do. He stayed here not that long ago. He's the first customer we've had that plays a lute in the bass. New place, same shtick. Typical. Ah, that's unfortunate, Reen. Yeah, when it comes to if you're trying to go for that range, it'll definitely be tricky if you're wanting to do something non-chibi, especially if you're trying to do 2 characters. I can't really help you with that one, then. But of course, 'tis the sacred duty of all those dedicated to the arts. Time and location mean nothing to one who served the goddess of beauty. Yeah, but playing the lute in the buff? Now the image is in my head. Ew. Come on, Estelle. Well, always good to see you again. How about staying for a while? We'd love to, but didn't you put in a request for a job? A job? Oh, that thing I contacted the guild about, eh? That's the one. Something about Peeping Tom creeping about? Yes, that's right. If we've got a minute, I'd like you to investigate immediately. Do you guys have time right now? Yep. Yeah, no problem. Let's get right to it. Apparently, someone's been peeping on my guests. It's a recent thing, but I've heard tell from a number of my female guests in particular. I won't stand for it, so I've contacted the guild. Peeping Tom's totally gross. When I find him, I'm gonna rearrange his face with my staff. What kind of specifics have you gotten from your guests? Did any of them see the criminal? No, nothing that clear. Yeah, I feel like, when it comes to, like, artists, it's definitely, like, when you find, like, your perfect, like, no, I really like your art, I want to commission a whole bunch of stuff for you, it's just, like, great. But when you don't have that, like, the hunt for an artist is really grueling at times. Like, I've done some, like, searching in the past to try and find an artist for my books, because if I ever get around to publishing one day, I will need, like, cover art and whatnot, right? But going and finding someone that, like, both does, like, good art, but also, like, in the style that you need and is capable of doing, like, a cover, while also there's, like, the whole, like, oh yeah, and also making sure that, like, the price is, like, reasonable and could do it at the right frame, you know. It's like whenever I go and find an artist that I'm really like, yo, this person's perfect, it's like, our commissions are closed at the moment. It's like, curses. They have important things like feeling that someone's watching them or strange sounds. Might it only be a misunderstanding of some sort? I thought so too at first. but like I said before, I keep getting those same reports again and again. At this point, I can't just toss it aside saying it's a coincidence. That's certainly true, but it's kind of a problem. It's not even clear that this is the case, really. There's no way we can investigate properly without any specifics. If it ain't clear, then we just gotta put it to the test. Not like we can make an arrest unless we caught them in the act anyway. Test? Put what to the test exactly? That should be obvious. We're gonna take a bath. You want me to you want me to be bait to lure out our criminal? I don't really mind, I guess, but I don't know if you'll be much bait, but you're all we got. Do the best you can. Excuse me for not being sexy. Do not be disheartened, Farristel. Would you like in seductiveness you more than make up with raw nubility? Nubility? I know that it's like the noun descriptor word of the word nubile, so I guess it'd be nubility. I don't know how you say it. Give me a break. Even Tita's laughing at me. No, I wasn't laughing at you. I was just kind of happy. It's been a while since the two of us took a bath together. Sounds sweet, sure. Sweet enough, sure. But, you do know this is totally exploitive. This is a totally exploitive bait plan, right? Anyway, would you mind letting us your outdoor bath, ma'am? Yep. Use it as you like. I'll reserve it entirely for you for a bit, so you four go warm yourselves up. Thanks, Mrs. Mao. Phew, I guess we're really doing this. Yep, sure are. Have a good time. Hey, wait a sec. A good time? You're not coming to the bath? The hell are you on about? Why do I have to go into the bath? The rare question is, why wouldn't you? You've come this far, and yet you're not going to bathe? Well, I won't stand for it. She has a point. Come now, there's no need to be shy. Shut up, I'm not embarrassed. Work comes first. I ain't exactly what we need for this job. I don't think you have, because I remember this is the person that you commissioned some like Emma art from before. I think I remember telling you to like send it to me on Twitter so I could see it. But I think you said you don't use Twitter at all, so unfortunately I have links like blocked on the stream. So cause of getting those like whatchamacname it, the ones that are like, hello, would you like to go and buy viewers? I'm like, no, go away. What nonsense. That I don't know. What I'll probably do is I won't do it now just because we're in the middle of a stream, but I'll probably disable. I'll like allow links next time. So if you want to, you can send it to me on. You can post it in chat on Thursday, if you remember then. I know my doo-doo brain will probably have forgotten by then, but I'll make sure to like allow links as soon as the stream is over. I just don't want to be like, hello, allow me to awkwardly just kind of fiddle around while all the music and audio is cut out from the game because of how old it is. What nonsense. You've got nothing to worry about if you're a man, so man up and get your butt in the bath. To come to a hot spring and not take a bath? Pfft, I've never heard anything more ridiculous. What she said? That's enough. Jeez. I'll get it. I'll go in, okay? Just don't forget this is a job, you guys. Yep, no problem on that point. Right, Tita? Yeah, no problem. Oh no! Mrs. Mao, could you lend me a towel set? Oh, did you forget yours, Tita? Yeah, I didn't think I'd be taking a bath. Oh, and some shampoo too, please. Wow, she doesn't mess around, does she? Not a care in the world. Although, since Estelle didn't ask for any, that makes me think that they might have a. Wait, we're doing the mixed. What? I guess the outdoor area is mixed bathing. Now that I think about it, that was how it was in the previous one. I just, for some reason, completely blanked on that. I have seen like maybe 3 episodes of Fire Force. It's on my like to watch list because I do know that like I like the creator, like and Soul Eater was really good.
I just got really turned off by that one chick whose like whole shtick is that she keeps getting sexually assaulted all the time. Like the whole like lucky pervert like curse or whatever that's on her. It was a like a major sort of like okay, I get it. Yeah, okay. It's nice. I keep meaning to go and like give the series another chance, but like it's definitely one of those more annoying things. It's like it's anime. Stop being anime for like 10 seconds.
It's so relaxing. Yep, outdoor baths are the best.
I agree. I was almost charmed by the sights here.
Oh, right, you stayed here, huh?
Indeed, I soaked up quite a bit of Elmo's charms after the birthday celebrations. I invited Cher as well, but sadly, she was busy.
Whoa, you invited Shara? Olivier? Do you, do you and Shara have some kind of special relationship?
Haha, I'll leave it to your imaginations. However, fear not, now I am yours alone, little Tita. That's good to know at least.
Huh? Hey, Olivier, the scary big brother over there is glaring at you.
Yes, I can feel his hot gaze upon me most keenly. Oh, perhaps he is lonely. Agate, would you like to join the conversation? Whatever, don't forget the reason we came here. Don't let your guard down.
Yeah, I get that, Agate, but why did you leave your bandana on? Honestly, the way you look is kind of standoffish.
Whether I stand off or stand in, it's got nothing to do with you. I don't do anything without this on. It's true that everyone's free to do as they please, but... Do you wash your hair with that on? Ah, use common sense, will you? Of course I take it off then.
Phew, thank goodness. Yeah, he does take it off.
Are you two idiots? What the hell do you think I am?
I don't know, Agate. It seems really plausible for you. You seem like the type to do any crazy thing you set your mind to. You know, that and this are... Huh? And why are you so quiet all of a sudden?
Looks like they're here.
Ah! The peeping Toms here?
Estelle, you see that brush to the north? Check it out subtly so they don't notice.
Got it. It does look like something's there.
Yeah, most likely that's our peeping Tom.
But what should we do?
Even if we wanted to try and catch him, we can't lay a finger on him from here.
Yeah, somebody needs to get out first to go around.
Looks like that's our only choice. Alright, Estelle? Estelle and I will go behind him. Olivia, you draw the enemy's attention.
Yeah.
Understood.
Well then, let's... Wait, what? What is it? Look, they're on the run. They're gonna run. Hey! Wait!
Uh-oh. It's the Sheep Mafia!
Estelle, after him. Got it. Let me quickly change clothes while I run after them. Hiya! Finally shown yourselves, huh?
Let's teach him a lesson. Uh-oh. They're all charging up immediately. These things have so much health. What? Nani? Oh, they're just glowing because they're like buffed or something.
Prepare to meet your doom!
What? The sheep are too strong. Too much power contained within these fluffy boys. Nani? Sheep also refuse? Not what? I did not remember this at all. What?
Yo, this sheep turned into a transformer.
Here I come.
Okay, okay, I like how it combining gave it less HP overall. Since they all had like 8,000 HP before. Alright. It's at least in a close enough range that Tita should be able to hit it with her cannon. There's just something about how fluid it spins around that is unnerving to a certain degree.
Prepare to meet your doom.
Alright, it cannot be blinded. Good to know.
Take that.
Can it be delayed though? That's the question. It can. Good. One more hit will do it. Super Sheep Punch! Nani? Nani? Yo, this sheep just went and did a super on us. Full on command grab. That's that. That's it then. Yes, I believe that settles things. I never thought they'd combine into one super creepy sheep. I doubt they'll come back now that we've bloodied their noses, but just be sure. Next time you come here, I'll make you sure you ain't breathing when you leave. Now get out of here. Ah! And thus we defeated the Sheep Mafia. My, so the Peeping Tom turned out to be monsters. We can't be absolutely sure, but it's very likely. We taught them a hard lesson though, so I don't think they'll bother you again. One or two of those guys I understand, but don't you think it's a little weird that so many were coming? It's very odd indeed. This is the first time we've had such a thing. Something must have happened. Maybe it has something to do with the earthquakes? Earthquakes? Well, I mean, sometimes monsters go a bit wild because of earthquakes. Maybe their habitat got messed up after a bad quake or something like that? It's certainly believable. Believable as it is, there's not much we can do about a natural disaster. If they show up again, I'll just have to give the guild a ring. Yeah, go for it. I'm always up for a chance to relax in your bath again. Well, if we're gonna come for a soak, I'd rather do it off the clock. You guys are welcome to, in the bath anytime, on the job or no. I owe you for today. If anything comes up, you'll be the first I call. Yeah, later. Bye, Mrs. Now. Alrighty. I just realized. Okay, yeah, no, poison's fine. I think if I remember correctly, resting here will fill up craft points because of the hot spring. Wait, no, it's not that. I think I'd made the same mistake in the last game as well. I think we have to. Yeah, we have to go and bathe specifically. There we go. Yeah, I remember there being points in the game where it's like, alright, time to go take on the big baddies. But before I would go and do that, I would just march all the way back to Elmo and like hop in the bath and then march all the way back. I know the later games that do have like fast travel make it
much easier to just hop in the springs whenever you need to. This is definitely a point in the game where it's like, yeah, let's just go on a long little adventure. All right, so now that that's taken care of, we need to kill this squirrel. No. All right. Agate and no, fine. True hurricane. All right, we need to go over to the Stonehenge looking thing real quick. And then from there, we'll head over to Elysian Fortress. The grasshoppers were playing dead. Nice strategy. Scared of getting murderized by people sent to murderize you? Just lay on the ground. Play dead. They'll think they already completed their job. Just have to aim here. I still need fire sepet.
Enjoy the show.
More than that. Any of you give fire sepet, please? Pretty please? Sheep. More sheep mafia. Okay. I accidentally hit the skip button. I forgot there was a skip button. Nice hit there. Just barely alive. And it ran away.
Piece of cake.
At least give me fire sepet if you're gonna run away. Okay, I guess we need to head towards the wolf fort if we're gonna do crap. We've ambushed you. Time to play dead. Bang. Grasshoppers are so funny. They will never not be funny to me. Okay, actually, build up some points again. Perfect. And then...
Prepare to meet your doom.
Alright, with him blinded, we can kind of ignore his... He's not much of a threat at the moment. So we can start going after our friends. It's excited. Uh-oh. The rabbit's preparing to explode. There we go. Alright, heal yourself, Agate. Okay. Does the big snake give fire sepet?
Let's do this thing.
Anytime.
That's some nice damage. Smash. Smash. I'll do a fire arrow because it will have to come to us. Or not, I suppose. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Pop goes to Weasel. Ah, good, they give fire sepith. Alright. More snake. Big snake. Too little snake? Uh-oh. At least you didn't call for backup. Okay. Should be able to, yeah, we can hit both. And smack attack. Pow! Okay, good. It's just a general trait of snake. Snake trait. I keep getting ambushed. I promise. Oh no, they're doing it. They're summoning friends. None of this power of friendship nonsense. It only counts when we do it. Although I suppose them summoning more means we get more snake. More red sepith.
Enjoy the show.
All according to my plan. I did that on purpose. Okay, this I feel is going to be. Never mind. I thought it was going to be a baddie. Oh, you're one of the completionist types, huh? Yeah. I'm like, because I'm not trying to go for like everything like perfect in this run. I guess I'm technically not, but like, oh. Here we are. The stone circle. That's right, this is where that book from the records room was hidden. The stone circle is still spooky as ever, I see. They seem to have been erected with purpose, but I believe they predate even ancient Zemuria. They are quite simple. Someone simply split stones and stood them up. Zemurians, the ancient people who lived on orbital energy and then vanished. The Tetracircle Towers in the sealed area beneath Grancel Castle are both Zemurian, right? Yeah, apparently. It's true this thing isn't remotely like those. Grandpa told me once that there's a really strong septum vein running beneath this area. He thought this place might have been important to religion a really long time ago. Which means it's a good place for examining the flow of a septum vein. I get it. Where should we put this measuring instrument, though? Let's see. The ground here seems pretty solid, and it's not in the ruins. Direction is good. Estelle, it'll work great if we put it right here. Should we set it up? Okay, I'll start setting it up. Give me just a minute. All done. Well, flip the switch as hard as you can. Flipping. What? What the? The ship Mafia comes for its due. Such a monstrous display. Son of a, they're after the quartz inside the device. Only one thing to do, shred him. And now the sheep demonstrate their cool ranch divine powers. Alright. Yeah, that's a lot of Sepith. Give us some space. Thank you.
Prepare to meet your doom!
Bada bing, bada boom. Howling bullet is your doom. Thank you so much for increasing my strength stat. I'm sure to repay it forward. Uh-oh. At least he missed. Spin.
Eat this!
Let's finish this guy off. Bye-bye. Okay. I feel like with the amount of knockback that's probably going through Tita every time she uses her cannon, she could probably count as a Ruby character. True sheep punch. This sheep knows kung fu. Bye-bye.
Eat this!
Let's delay him so Olivia has a chance to heal himself. We're gonna... Okay. Not quite reach just yet. However... I'll be fine once I go and use my own tears. I still, to be perfectly honest, don't know if it's supposed to be pronounced as tier or tear. I think it's supposed to be tier, but, like, I mean, you never know. Who are you buffing? You're alone. You're alone. Your friends can no longer be buffed by you.
Take that! 99.
Look at all that Sepith. None of it's fire, though! Oh boy, I think we got them all. Those were definitely the nastiest creepy sheep-like thingies I've ever fought. Those darn dirty calculating. Probably one of the new monsters Elnan was on about. That was scary. Tita, are you injured? If you get hurt, I'd be happy to treat you. Just let Big Brother Olivia know.
I'm okay. You all protected me. More importantly, I need to flip the switch.
See, this mechanical sound, way less of a pain in the neck as the mechanical sound from Tales of Symphonia. In this one, I can actually hear myself think and not be like, you know, be stuck in a vacuum dimension.
Yay! Now it works! Good work, Tita.
Anyway, that's 2 devices down. Let's go set up the last one.
Okay.
Treasure chest. Oh, monsters. I should have seen that coming, to be honest. Eliminate.
Take this!
Final break! And then there were none. You seek your sheep. Powers can win if you bring in a bunch of praying mantises? No, sir. Our battles against the sheep mafia should have taught you better by now. This war of ours will not end so simply.
Take that!
Okay. You're really weak to fire, so this should do some good damage.
Kapow!
They ran again!
Wing roar.
Stop running! Not allowed to run if you pick the fight. We tried wiring the chest to see what if something will sprout, but the only thing that grows is the smell. Yikes. What's the silver earring? Oh, it's just anti-poison. Okay. I don't think this game has a crafting element in it, like some of the other later stuff does. So I don't think there's a thing where like you combine the silver and like the poison and the blind earrings or anything like that. So I do not remember if you come here in the story in this game or not. But just for the sake of my own sanity, I'm gonna go and do the exploration bit for this now. Chest. Sepith. I mean, I gave you everything I had to give, and yet, this is the fire tower. If there's not fire quartz in here, I'm gonna be mad. As you look into the darkness of the empty chest, it reminds you of the darkness that still fills your hearts. I love being called out by treasure chest dialogue. It's like my favorite thing. Ruby Talisman. The empty chest shape tempts you to climb on top of it and start writing the next great Sumerian novel. You somehow resist the urge. That's a bird. You want to turn around, bird? Yeah. Oh, he heard me coming. I think he heard me going yeah and said decided to go turn back around.
Prepare to meet your doom.
Enjoy being blinded. Stop hitting the child. You're going to jail for picking on Tita. Yes, she may have shot you with a cannon first, but that doesn't excuse it. She's like 12. She doesn't know better than to go and shoot you with a cannon. I'm really glad I blinded these guys. This would be a much different fight if I hadn't. Okay, good. I can hit from here.
Scary.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, baby. Plenty of fire sepiths to go around. Seafood jelly? Sorry, kid, I'm retired. Fair enough, treasure chest. Enjoy your retirement. These birds are not about to let themselves get smacked.
Let's do this thing.
Anytime.
It's time for an all-out attack.
Cut him down.
Also, look at all that sepith. Delicious, delicious sepith.
Prepare to meet your doom.
Stop hitting the people you're not allowed to hit. It's against the law. There'll be a smacking with the stick as punishment. And a slightly sharper stick.
Here for a rematch.
Back again, are we? That I am. Okay. Now we can climb up proper. This place, I forgot this place. Look at all of them. They're just so cute. Pop, pop. Too cute. Blaze them. Pop, pop.
We did it.
I will get all the fire sepith, and no one can stop it. Ooh, shiny bomb. Shiny bomb. Okay, here's the plan. First, I do this, then I do this. This should kill it. Yeah, easy. Easy, Morty. Okay. Nap keeps running away because it's dead. Let's help out our ally, shall we? A smack, and then a good shot to the face will take care of the rest. Cool enough? Look at all that experience. Delicious, delicious. Delicious. 2 levels for Tita. 3 levels for Tita. Perfect. Alright. Easy. Alright. Uh-oh. There's too many of them. They got us surrounded. If only we had someone with an incredibly powerful stick to smack them with. Alright, let's just get a wild rage out now. Bye-bye. They're just so squishy. Yo, this guy has dodged 2 attacks. He found the Neo of palms.
We did it!
Alright. Considering we got like 3 levels worth of experience for Tita, and then like a sudden level with Estelle and the others, I'm probably not going to be getting any more levels in this particular place. So I think we're probably good if we ignore some of the fights. Where possible, at least, anyways. Alright. Rolling. Alright. We don't want to blast them away. Oh, well, I missed anyways. Okay. No, smoke cannon too.
Prepare to meet your doom!
Those guys don't have eyes, but that wasn't really meant for them, so it's okay. No, Hellgate's gonna miss now. Oh, divided. Uh-oh. Disappointed. It reflected. Well, good to know, I guess.
Take that.
That thing just barely survived. Uh-oh. How dare you turn the little kid into a statue? We shall not forgive you for this. Look how angry Olivia is seeing what you've done. Alright, and finish him off. There we go.
Should have done
Alright, let's do a look here. And one more. Alright. Turn around. Okay. Boop, and boop, and boop.
Let's do this!
Leave to me.
Easy clap.
We're good to go!
That's the power of chains. Alright, we'll do this side first, I guess. Burb. Of course it's burb. Alright.
Hey, come and get me!
And I missed. Good job. Alright, let's get these two blinded.
Prepare to meet your doom!
Okay, and they are weak to water. Easy. Who even needs blue ascension? Stop smacking the child with feathers.
Take that. Enjoy the show.
You're gonna go to jail for that. Okay. Does this track go all the way around? It does. Okay. Blue cashmere. I know it's not much much fun to open an empty chest, but think about how much fun it was to open it when it still had something in it. Ah, memories. All right. Blue cash. Okay, that's probably women only then. Yeah. Okay. Woven from a wool of blue-coated sheep monster. Creepy. Okay. Which means that the other pathway is up from over there. From the previous floor. Don't need to worry about. XL gear. You find a whole bunch of caterpillars. They're kind of crawly and gross, but they'll grow up into butterflies. Or moths. Moths are kind of gross too. You don't say. Alright, men only boots, seems. Yep, okay. Shoes with wheels affixed to the sole. Strega branded. Yo, we got wheelies over here. EP charge. Don't mind me. There's just something funny about thinking about my boy Agate over here wandering about with freaking wheelies on. Like, this stuff is so annoying. I'm gonna go ride home, but no, bye. And he just he just goes and it's just too perfect. The Bento image is just too strong. Alright, and then these two should get taken out by this. There we go. And one last dude. There we go.
Piece of cake.
Okay. Monsters. Okay, these guys almost certainly are going to explode when we beat them up. Let's give us some space, dude. That did not give us any space. All right, well, all right. Well, we're about to take an explosion to the face. It was nice knowing you all. Have a wonderful day. Kaboom! 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 Agate taken 2. You're not allowed to call allies. What? What do you think you are? You know what? No. Get out of here.
Here I
None of that. Alright, and let us blind you.
Prepare to meet your doom.
Alright. That should keep us in a good enough spot. Though the question is going to be whether or not we can hit anything. Alright, just one good shot will do it. Easy. Look at all them fire sepiths. Now we're just gonna be like, no, I need water sepith. Give me water. Alright, so replace that with that. And then... Okay, so I got Tac 2. Tac 2 goes over here. Perfect. No freebies here, I'm afraid. 5 rings came. The chest is holding a beauty pageant with all of its other treasure chest friends, but beauty on the outside can't save how empty it is on the inside. Ooh, that was good. That was a good one. Truly, its beauty is only skin deep. Alright, that is all the exploration here. We can make our way back. Nope. No, not here. Crap. Oh, at least there's more chests.
Prepare to meet your doom!
Oh, and that one got poisoned. Nice. Okay, and Flame Smash. Bye-bye. Label. Bye-bye.
Piece of cake!
Recharge. You know this chest is empty, so why do you do this to yourself? Why do you keep hoping? Action 2. What if if our universe is a chest in someone else's universe and someone's going to open us up, take everything, and just keep coming back? I too accept my overlords of chest openers. They're just gonna burst in, steal our chest. Down. Okay, here we go. And across the way we go. Down again. Second floor. Just straight across. And there we go. Let's save. Let's save. Okay. Yo, I didn't even see these. What? Orbments, keeping your breath fresher longer. Yo. You wonder if you could use arts to turn this chest into a smaller wooden bathtub. Water would probably be fine. Fire to heat it? Likely not. I mean, we would need some like hot coals or something like that. But yeah, you'd be more likely just to burn the whole thing down. Though I guess people do use wooden tubs for baths too, right? So I'm sure there's some way. I don't know what sort of madness science has brought upon us that would allow it, but I'm sure they figured it out. Let's see here. Let's get back into town. More bunnies. What if I said no? You can be excited all you want, rabbits, we're not fighting. Okay, so the last area is Lacen Fortress. Let's go and upgrade. Slot Tita. Olivier. Estelle, but Agate, and no, Tina, any spots? No. All right, we're now in the water quartz dimension. Alright, eagle eye can... Alright, yep, here we go, eagle eye, cut. So can I not make a movement quartz? Sure enough. Wonder why they won't let me make one. Is it just too strong? Alright. I think what we're gonna do is we'll finish up we'll go and do the part at Lacen Fort, and then we'll wrap up there before we go back to talk to Kilika and co. Alright, and trap planes. Oh, I didn't fight this. I should fight this. Where is it? Where even was it? Freaking... Could you guys chill? Oh my goodness. Not more of this. Hello. No. Alright, let me be. Alright. So, alright. The trap planes. This whole area is trap planes. I don't have any quartz that make it so that we like don't get seen. I don't have that yet. We'll head back towards Elmo. There we go. That looks like it. Giant mosquito. Yeah, there we go. Oh, so many of them. Get out of here. We're so close to Elmo, I can literally just like spam
Let me show you the true essence of beauty.
my craft, my S craft, and just take a dip, get it all back. Can I blind you?
Prepare to meet your doom!
I can. Yo, why'd you get 2 turns? Nani? Why'd you get 2 turns? Stop it.
We're good to go!
At least they gave us some water sepith. Alright, so yeah, Elmo Village is just right over there. It won't take much to get all that those craft points back. Ta-da! Okay, here we go. You two keep play fighting over there. Alright, and then we go all the way to the back. It's weird how, like, there's rest and then there's bathe. Because bathing also, like, heals you in like, the exact same way, but it doesn't cost any money. Resting does, but not bathing. But bathing is better, because it gives you craft points. Alright, so now let's head back to the city. I've got my eye on you, monsters. You try anything funny, don't you try it. I said don't try anything funny. I'm not fighting you. Okay. Huh? Aren't you Estelle, the recently promoted senior? Yeah, that's me. Ah, excuse me. I'm Wong. I'm with the Zeiss branch? Oh, I see. I'm Estelle Bright. Nice to meet you. Yeah, same here. I've heard about your work here and there. After all the success you've had, it's only natural you're a full bracer already. Thank you. But I'm still in training. I've got a lot to learn still. Never forget the attitude of a beginner, huh? Pretty admirable sentiment. I hope I can follow your example. Incidentally, did you know Gundolf is out on the job? Oh, yeah, I heard from Gene. We came to Zeiss in part to help pitch in while he's gone. I gotcha. Thanks, that'll be a big help. Sorry for the trouble, but I hope you'll help out around here for a while. I get looking forward to working with you as well. Yeah, same here. I'll help out as best I can. Well then, let's all work together and do our best. Just random cool conversation. This is the wrong way. Alright, over here. Alright. So, once we get onto the Soldat Road is where we'll find... No. We'll find the monster we're looking for. Which should be not too terribly bad. What was the thing about it? Okay, yeah, it invigorates its allies. So we have to be careful about our timing. Good news is, though, we have full craft points with everybody. Which is part of the reason why I'm, like, avoiding fighting some of these dudes. So I'm not tempted into using any of it. Stay away, sheep. I'm like, where is it? Oh, didn't realize there's two parts for a second there. Oh my goodness, stop it! Go play dead. Yeah, go play dead. Alright, go back. The boss is probably... Yeah, it's probably blocking the road, like I thought. Exterminate! And it's got sheep.
Let's do this thing.
Anytime.
Alright, and
Prepare to meet your
smoke them out. The sheep's gone loco! She's gone loco! now all angry at Estelle.
Prepare to meet your doom! Come on, everyone!
Meet your doom! Don't you want to meet your doom? With my chain gun?
Scary.
Nani, you're taunted the other. Why are you doing that? You're taunted. That's illegal. Doggo gets no turns. Watch and behold at the. Oh, he didn't run this time. Easy clap. She's almost caught up. And she's only about a little under 2,000 experience behind everybody. Alright, and... Oh, that's right, she leveled up, so she got healed. Okay. Layston Fortress. I like how they're doing the like intro thing, like it's our first time here, but we were here earlier, doing the side quest. Layston Fortress. I know we were just here to help with the training, but it still makes me feel kind of nostalgic. Good old water.
I kind of thought that too. It was night when we were here last, so it feels different though. Happier maybe?
Well, we did break in not all that long ago. Looking back on how good we did makes it all the better. Why, really now? You planned something that fun and you didn't contact me at all? Such fickle friends.
Why wouldn't you extend an invitation to something so thrilling? And why exactly would we call you of all? Anyway, let's get the measuring thingy set up.
Ah, it might be a good idea to get permission from the gate guard before sticking anything in front of the fort. Kyoko should have called ahead, so this should be a snap.
Alright then.
Hello, guardman. What's up again? This is Layston Fortress, the headquarters of the Royal Army. I'm sorry, but civilians are not permitted entry at this time. I'll have to ask you to leave the premise at once.
But we're from the Bracers Guild?
Oh, right, you folks. Commander already passed down the word. You need to place some form of measuring device near the gate, right? Told you it'd be quick. So, it's cool if we put this thing up wherever? You got permission, so go right ahead, wherever you want. Well, anywhere except the road itself, if you don't mind. We would prefer to keep that open for vehicle traffic.
Sure, no problem. Okay, let's find a good place. Okay.
Smack dab in the middle of the road. Okay.
Alright, Tita, where should we put this thing? Let me think. So, if we're not allowed to put it on the road... There's a light nearby, but this should be far enough away, I think. And this is in that direction, so the angle... Yep, this is perfect! I know it's right in front of the sign, but right here is the best spot for it. Should we set it up?
Yeah.
Alright, I'll start setting it up. Give me just a minute. All done! Well, flip the switch as hard as you can. Flipping now!
No monsters this time. We are next to a fort, so guess it's good that this spot's not about to be ambushed.
Yay, now it works!
Great work, short stuff. Well, it looks like you're certainly keeping busy.
Huh? Oh, it's Dad. Dad?
Cassius, Hello, Estelle, everyone. It's been a while. I know it's a little late, but good work with your training, Estelle.
Hey, good work? You don't know the half of it. What are you doing here anyway, Dad?
Haha. Well, I am a member of the military, just in case you forgot. This is the strategic headquarters for the Royal Army, so most of the army brass works here.
Oh, okay.
So you were put in charge of the army, huh? Yes, thanks in no small part to Morgan absolutely refusing to let go of the idea. In the end, let's say it came down to a battle of wills and I lost. Thanks to that, I've not had a moment to rest in days, weeks. I can't even track the passage of time anymore. Heh, for a workaholic like you, what's the problem?
Come on, Agate, be nice. I have to admit, though, seeing you in a uniform again felt weird as heck at first, but now that I've gotten used to it, you really look at home in it.
Naturally. You realize, of course, that you gaze upon he who was once the great dandy of the Royal Army. Even Richard wasn't half the lady killer I was. Knew it too.
I'm sure Mom would be thrilled to hear that, Dad. I'm still glad. I heard you were really busy, so I've been a little worried. But it looks like you're okay.
I'm surviving at least. Anyway, Jean passed along the report from the guild. So, they've begun moving already. You found one in Ruan.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we found one. A foot soldier of Ouroboros.
Like the report said, the sons of dogs are probably even more dangerous than we'd figured. Any chance the military's got an ace in the hole for those animals? Honestly, if I could put together an agency to replace the intelligence division, that'd help. I've only just gotten the regular army and the border garrison welded back together and cohesive, though, and that was a challenge. For the moment, we've little choice but to rely on the resources of the guild to investigate. I'm hoping you can look into these bizarre earthquakes we've been having while you're at it. Son of a figures.
So you're relying on me for once, Dad? Don't worry, I'll shower you in filial piety and success too.
First time you've ever said something like that, Estelle. You look very good too. You really have become much more of a true bracer. I'm sure Joshua would be impressed as well.
Oh, I guess so.
General Bright.
There he is. Oh, Major Sid.
Yo, Sid. Good to see you again. Oh? It sounds like you've met recently. Yes, sir. It was during the special training I mentioned. It was a huge success thanks to them. I see. It's good you took the initiative as so well in my absence. Now that you're a Lieutenant Colonel, I'll be expecting even greater things from you, you know. Otherwise, I'll never be able to properly retire. Well, we can't have you retiring too early, sir. At least wait until General Morgan is retired first.
And that'll be when he keels over at his desk, most likely.
Anyway, Lieutenant Colonel, it sounds like you have more business with me. Yes, sir. General Morgan will be arriving earlier than expected. He's due at the landing port within the hour. For the love of... That man has exactly zero patience, I swear. As you can see, I have a meeting with some of the brass to attend. I'm sorry we can't talk longer, Estelle.
No, it's okay. I'm glad we got the chance to chat, even for a little bit.
So am I. Agate, I'm sorry I had to ask if of you, but please continue to watch over Estelle. She's a senior bracer now, but she still lacks experience. No worries, Cassius. See you're keeping up the hard work too, Tita. I imagine she can be a dunderhead of a sister sometimes, but just help Estelle out as best you can, okay?
I will, I promise. About the analysis of the Gospel unit, Grandpa said he found, an unexpected hint. I think he'll want to talk to you soon.
I see. Sounds like we can expect some headway soon. Give my best to the professor when you see him.
I will.
Olivia's with you too. Thank you for helping my daughter. I know you have your own business, but thank you for putting it aside for the moment. Your thanks are unnecessary, Mr. Bright. I'd not miss the next chapter in our little opera for the world. Well, as you wish. Just be sure not to neglect your own mission. Fear not, my friend, I haven't forgotten.
What's all that?
Well, if you'll pardon me. I won't have time to do much to help you directly, but if you find something too big for the guild, contact me anytime. I'll help you as much as I possibly can.
Yeah, I'm counting on you if that happens, Dad. Good luck with your work.
If you need it, I'll need it to keep Morgan off my back. Let's go, Lieutenant Colonel. Yes, sir. Bye-bye. Always good to see you, Dade. Looks like Dad's even busier than I thought. We'll need to do our part as the guild and more. You got it. Let's get some answers and leave the old man speechless. We've all got the devices in place now too. Let's get back to Gramps and their operations in the central factory. Right, 5th floor of the factory. All right, let's get back to town and we're gonna wrap up there. I'm starting to get a little tired anyways. I need to get some more foods in me. Do not attack me, raccoon, possum, monster, squirrel. Man, we got a lot done today. It's one of those things where it's like, yeah, it's like one main story quest, but the amount of side quests that they throw at you with every single main story bit, it's like, yeah, no, it will definitely take you a good chunk of time whenever you just kind of going through them. Which to me, I think is one of the things I like about it. The sort of general pacing means that like you're very disincentivized from like rushing through the main story, because like the rewards you get for doing side quests are really good, and not only does it help build out the world, make the places you're in feel more like a an existing location with a community and locales and stuff like that, but it also means that like the passage of time that happens that's like supposed to be presumed while you're running around doing stuff is a lot more easier to sort of like imagine, It's not something where it's like, oh boy, we went from point A to point B and it's been, like 0 time for us, but to the game, in the game's world, it's been like, 8 hours. Petrify, yo, petrify. Okay, Tita, you may now petrify. AoE petrification. Alright, so, thank you for coming by, everybody. We will, resume on Thursday with more Tales of Xillia. And Sunday, since I did Xillia last Sunday, I might do Trails on Sunday. It kind of depends on what my mood is. So, either way, thanks for coming by, and I'll see you next time. Johnny!